And we're back for part 5 of Wrestling in Mom's Basement year-end rewards, the WIMBs, for 2017. Joe, we're down to the last 2.
That's true. Two games at Best Rivalry for each 21 performers. 2009, Gator Punk vs. Jeff. 2010, The Miz vs. Daniel Bryan. 2011, Randy Orton vs. Christian. 2012, CM Punk vs. Daniel Bryan. 2013, CM Punk vs. Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar. 2014, Daniel Bryan vs. Authority. 2015, Bayley vs. Sasha Banks. And 2016, AJ Styles vs. John Cena. So kick things off with 4th place.
Alright, so 4th place for Best Feud for me was Asuka and Ember. I felt it was the best women's storyline of the year for WWE. I thought they had the 2 best matches, definitely. Probably 1 and 2 for women.
There's also Nikki Cross last one standing match.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, match.
And so I felt that they actually had a good story going into with Ember not being able to beat Asuka. And still coming close each time before finally falling to the Asuka lock. I thought it was a good story and good matches.
4th place, keep it short and sweet because I'll be talking about more on Friday night, Pete Dunne versus Tyler Bate.
Okay.
Obviously, you know what those 3 matches were. Go more in depth with that on Friday.
Yeah. Remember the in third place for me was Alistair versus Velveteen. The story, it may have only been for 1 takeover, but I felt the story was very strong, and that I thought their match exceeded expectations and probably deserves to be a match of the year contender.
In 3rd place, Kevin Owens versus Chris Jericho. I'm not going to go too in depth because obviously covered the festival friendship and the build up already. So just the storytelling there was on point.
2nd place for me was Roman versus Braun. Just because, like, each week they were finding ways of having Braun destroy stuff and trying to destroy Roman in the process, including but not limited to flipping over an ambulance. Mm-hmm. An actual ambulance, by the way. Braun crashing through ambulance doors, which was kind of funny.
Oh, yeah.
And keep on saying, I'm not finished with you. Him throwing off platforms and stuff like that. And also, I thought their matches had really stepped up a notch for both guys. It made me see that Braun can be a strong competitor going forward, and that Roman is incredibly underrated as well.
I'm just going to say, spoiler here, my top 2 choices for me were far ahead of everything else this year. So, I refuse to give a tie to this particular award. This is one of the main ones. But if I did for one of the main ones, this would be a tie. But in my 2nd place, I did the Usos versus the New Day. They had 3 matches together. When the Usos were the heels and the New Day were faces, I love the SummerSlam match. Only on the Kickoff show for some reason. And then the Hell in a Cell match that they had in October was incredible. They are, I'm going to record say, in my opinion, they are the 2 best WWE teams of this decade.
Yes.
And I can't say yes, I agree.
Agreed.
So it's great to see them in a lengthy, meaningful feud like that. There's just not a case of 2 teams wrestle each other too often either. I enjoyed it every time and look forward to seeing it again.
The winner for me was, in fact, the New Day versus Usos. They had 3 incredible matches back to back on pay-per-view. And also, their promos they were cutting with each other, they added to compelling television, which made you want to see the matches even more. So I felt they deserved the feud of the year.
And for me, number 1, the Braun Strowman versus Roman Reigns. The Roman Reigns rivalry with Strowman started early in the year and late into October, when Strowman was turned face in the TLC match that Reigns missed. They had a lot of good matches together with a variety of simulations, including an ambulance match and a lifespan standing match. Yet they were always able to put on a good showing. Reigns is pretty good at selling beating, while Strowman is at his best as a dominant big man bully that won over fans because of how awesome he was at his job. I think this two helped both guys a lot.
Oh, yeah.
And it's time for the big one. Best wrestler. And for me, it's to give the person best combines work rate, character, microphone work, and everything else into one. The this one to when WWE did their Superstar year. In 2009, it's the Chris Jericho. 2010, it's Randy Orton. 2011, CM Punk. 2012, CM Punk. 2013, Daniel Bryan. 2014, Seth Rollins. 2015, Seth Rollins. And 2016, clearly was AJ Styles. Sixth place.
Sixth place for me is Aleister Black. He came on the scene early this year in NXT. I think he immediately struck a chord with a lot of people, just because he felt very different from anybody else, and he wrestled different from anybody else. He also went on to have good matches with Hideo and Velveteen this year, and I've looked forward to see what he can do more next year.
Before I say my six, I do want to mention that John Cena and Chris Jericho, I will have them on here if they have full-time schedules. Maybe they'll be on here and miss a touchdown to keep them just as honorable mentions past six. So for six, I put Seth Rollins. I had to put Rollins in here since he's won, since I made one this award before, and he's been a model of consistency. Put him in a tag team in the second half of the year hurts him in the sense that he's not in the major title picture anymore, but he's still one of the best guys in WWE. I think Seth can definitely get back to being a top guy in 2018.
Yeah. For fifth place for me, it's technically a tie because it's a team. I'm giving it to the Usos. Again, they had their great feud with the New Day this year, and I give it to them particularly over New Day because I felt that they came from a lower place of being stale and completely revamped themselves into an incredible year from 2017.
And in fifth place, I give it to Braun Strowman. Braun had a breakout year ago from a guy winning busted squash matches in 2016 to someone that was featured on Major Field Roman Reigns for nearly the entire year. I think the feud really helped both guys too. The 3 Raw matches with Big Show were surprisingly good too. And believe me, if I was some of the best TV matches only the year, if there were just best TV match lists coming on Friday, those 3 matches will definitely have been on it for best TV matches. One that might be on. I've been extremely bored by the King feud in the latest months. So that hurts him a bit in my standings. I face Strowman's limit as a face, like I said before. And there's no certain guys to be able to work with. The crowd turned face and he's better off his heel. I can see him turn face and heel many times in his career, similar to what Sean Kane have been doing the last 2 decades.
Yeah. It's quite possible. Third place for me is, in fact, Braun Strowman.
Wait, fourth place, right?
I'm sorry, fourth place. Fourth place for me is actually Samoa Joe. He's had a great debut year for WWE. He's actually had a lot of strong feuds. I thought him and Brock was very strong. He also had a very good, strong feud with Roman Reigns, even continuing up into current day, the first week of January. I also felt that he's actually improved in his mic work, or this is the first time I've actually noticed how strong he is on the mic as well. He's also becoming that badass that really doesn't care about anybody as well.
At 4th place, I give it to Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens was a top heel on Raw pre-WrestleMania, and then he was featured as a top heel on SmackDown. Basically, he saw places with The Miz because they were both top heels on separate shows. Just like Miz, Owens been making a lot of power since then in these videos. Owens got a lot of promo time, and he knew they were all fans up. I enjoyed Kate's feuds with Chris Jericho and AJ Styles, as well as Shane McMahon. But for me, I think the big match starting his home that Owens back is they came up a bit short for whatever reason. His big matches, I felt last year. Like, you don't have a particularly excellent match, I felt.
Yeah.
Owens, he had a lot of good ones. Owens is still one of the best all-around talents in WWE.
As I spoiled earlier, my number 3 for the best roast of the year is, in fact, Braun Strowman. It's a large part to do because he had a period within late spring, early summer, where it was every week you literally had to tune in to see what Braun Strowman was going to do in order to destroy Roman Reigns. It was watchable television. You literally just had to see what happened next. That and Braun Strowman has also picked up in his match quality as well this year. Having at least 2 match of the year contenders I can think of off the top of my head. at the very least two. There's probably more. Again, he's probably been one of the most exciting things that happened in wrestling this year.
In third place for me, in ring wise, the second best wrestler in the company, I thought. There's someone on all brand I have him in second on the same brand as him on the second place, but on Raw, he is the best wrestler on Raw. Yeah, get your pitchforks out, people. I'm right for it. He is the best. He was the best in ring worker for 2017 on Raw. And I'm sure there's people listening to this, watching this, thinking I'm overrating him, but I don't really give a fuck. Third place was Roman. Oh wait, I want to get the New Japan fans riled up here. Roman might be the second best worker in the world.
Alright.
I might have just lost us tons of viewers, but I was working out there. You might think I'm overrating because you hate his push, but he lost quite a bit this year compared to other years. In terms of performance, Roman had the best year of his career. Lost great matches with the likes of Braun Strowman, John Cena, Samoa Joe, variety of opponents, and others. And yes, people, I'm looking forward. It's not my ideal match, but yeah, I am looking forward to the match with Brock. Because Brock will actually be an honorable mention here too, for the year he had. To be fair, it was just a brawl match. I was actually blemished for Brock. Brock will show up a lot on the match list, so you can be sure of that. Promos are the weakness of Roman, but he isn't bad as you think, and I should think he has his best year there too. Yeah. I think he's going to continue to improve in that regard. Will Roman be better if he turned the other point in the last 3 years? Yeah. But it is what it is at this point.
Right. For second place for me, after Joe went on that spiel, my guy for second place is in fact Roman Reigns. Doing at me is Roman Reigns. He actually, I'll agree with Joe, he actually may be the second best in the world. Suck it, Kenny Omega.
Second place, the only reason I had him above Roman, he was as good as Roman in the ring. Relatively, he had a consistent year from 2016 was The Miz. I think The Miz had the best year of his career, or you could say the best 18 months. Back to when the draft took place in July 2016. He worked with a lot of top guys on both SmackDown and Raw in that time, without really being in contention for the top prize on either brand for some godforsaken reason. Miz knows how to get heat as well as anybody. I don't even know what's going to deny match quality of The Miz has improved the last couple of years as well. And I said this last year, as when we did these ourselves, but I'm going to say again, Maurice coming back was a godsend.
Oh, yeah.
For The Miz. Miz is not as good as my number one in the ring, or probably not as good as Roman either. But as far as all-around talent goes, though, he's never top. Yeah. Definitely.
I think the winner is the same for both of us. I'm fairly sure I'm willing to bet money on it. My winner is probably the same as his. It's probably AJ Styles for you, and it's AJ Styles for me.
It was almost Summer Rae, but I had to give it to AJ.
Yeah. Summer Rae did not, in fact, wrestle in 2017.
She was my favorite model.
Yeah. What's more to say that hasn't already been said? AJ has pulled out great matches out of just about nobody. Literally, he's had Jinder Mahal's best set of matches. Ever.
Might be his only two good matches.
Yeah. Yeah. And still he continues to deal out, and I hope they give him the best contenders just to see what magic happens this year.
My winner is AJ. It wasn't as easy as it was last year. I thought he had some more closer competition this year, AJ. With Roman, Ryzen, Braun, Joe, I didn't mention him, Owens, Miz, the Usos, Seth being a constant, but for the second round, I think AJ deserves the award the most. Until a few months ago, maybe he didn't deserve it because he didn't have his like this. He did have a good middle. It was the middle of the year. They kind of overbooked the AJ Owens feud. Yeah. But the beginning of the year and the ending of his year, the feud Owens was good. It wasn't as great as you would expect from that.
It was sort of status quo.
Yeah.
It wasn't necessarily a level above anybody.
Or the feud of Corbin and Ty, Yeah. But they were also good matches. So even his status quo stuff will be considered someone's best of the year. So until that, maybe he didn't deserve it as much as like a Braun, but then Braun ran to Kane. And stuff. But then AJ ended the year on a hot streak with fantastic matches against Finn. At TLC October. Actually, the fact that he flew 18 hours to even do that match.
Yeah.
In TLC October, they won the W and were drawn the night. They won the W title from Jinder SmackDown on November 7th, probably the best match of Jinder's career. Gave Jinder his second best match of his career at Clash of Champions last month. And a few weeks ago, from our series, he had the best singles match Brock Lesnar has had in about 4 years since CM Punk's match at SummerSlam. Let's not forget about his performances earlier in the year with a classic match with John Cena at the Royal Rumble, with a great show in Elimination Chamber match, and he also had the best match at WrestleMania 33, in my opinion, with Shane McMahon, who was a full-timer. AJ also turned face first WrestleMania and was the right call because the crowd loves him more than anybody else wanted to eat a burn.
Yeah.
They even changed him was about to say at 4 years old, AJ's the third back-to-back winner for me. On this war, along with CM Punk in 2011-2012 and Seth Rollins 2014-2015. I think AJ maybe had better 2016 than 2017, but in terms of matches, he's about the same. And now he's in the right roles of face at the fans love. Could he make it 3 in a row next year?
It's quite possible, actually.
As long as he's telling that he's a tough guy to beat. So, overall, what would you give WWE for the whole year? Like for scale 1 to 10.
Scale from 1 to 10 for the whole year. I'm going to say 7.5.
Oh.
It wasn't a total failure. Some parts of it were actually quite good, but there's definite room for improvement.
I'm going to say a 6.57. I'd say it's probably like a slightly above average here, definitely.
6.57?
Yeah, like an like a mil. It's definitely above average here. I think I like 2016 a little more, that's why. This year was hurt by some stupid booking decisions.
Yeah.
And the lack of really, really big moments. But there was a lot of no real risk-taking moves, I thought, either, for the problem. But Jinder was a risk, but I don't know what to see. And with a roster that has low talent, some major pay-per-view runs were kind of disappointing. Every year, people were just going to have a WrestleMania the last few years, WrestleMania was just another show. That runs way too long. 7 hours this year, counting the pickle. I feel the product, though, could still be so much better. NXT called back up this year. I want to say this, I do feel like WWE's on the brink of something big. They just need better stories.
Yeah.
It's not the talent.
They just need to work out their creative issues.
Yeah, because talent-wise, I think everybody agrees this is their best roster.
Oh, yeah.
They have the right mix of veterans and...
Even the guys on the roster that you don't think are necessarily as talented are actually still very talented.
Yeah, yeah. Even like the worst are decent now.
Or the ones that everybody rags on the worst. They're not, but they're actually far
from the worst.
From the worst and far
that
from
we've ever had. Yeah. I guess there may not a lot of changes between the 2 years, but I do think they're on the brink of something big and they can get their creative team.
Yeah.
This is like the 96, 97, if I'm comparing to like years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With a roster like 2002.
Right. Like they're on the brink of stuff. I think they're on peak time for them.
Mm-hmm.
They just gotta get it out creatively. But that'll do it for this 5 videos. We'll see you Friday with no recaps of Raw SmackDown 205 Live and. No,
you don't have to do NXT
this week. So that
it's a recap show.
Raw SmackDown 205 Live, ECW something 2000. You totally forgot the name of this.
Barely Legal, I think.
Was it that? No, I think that only happened once. Living Dangerously.
Spit in my eye.
Well, that's good. Living Dangerously, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's it.
I think. F. And our top 20 matches of the year.
Yes. And if I'm lucky...
If I'm lucky, too, because I'm not done the list. Maybe the current 100 stars, but definitely before Rumble week.
Well, that's not what I meant.
Oh.
I actually meant, and if we're lucky, Wrestle Kingdom.
Maybe
we may get a review.
We had a lot of time Friday because we had nothing to watch.
Yeah.
So I'll do it for the special WIMBs.
The first inaugural WIMBs.
Yeah, it's only been 5 videos. A year from now, we'll be more professional.
Who knows? We may have graphics down at the bottom.
Yeah.
We may have a nice trophy we can show off.
Yes.
Just one trophy because no one's actually going to want to take the trophy.
Links down the bottom at the video, at the Patreon 25, at the Java New 25, over Wrestling MB on Twitter, and Instagram over Wrestling MB, and IBL_photography Friday. And we'll see you Friday.
See you then.
Bye.